Hope you're doing well. Hope your Saturday is going well. We're running a bit behind today, trying to get some extra things set up, but we're good now. Today we're gonna be talking about this whole PewDiePie debacle. We don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I just kind of want to address it. Things that I've heard, some things that I've passed over and seen. And then we're gonna talk a bit more about like being yourself on stream because I've been thinking about that a lot. Do I change who I am while I'm live? And is that being faithful to myself? Is that the right way to say that? Is that being true to myself?
Well, I think there's two ways to go about that.
Yeah. And then we're gonna close up with our talk on handheld gaming. Is it crap or is it mobile gaming? Is it crap or is it comparable to handheld gaming?
Yeah.
So that's what we got in store for you today. Hope you enjoy it. We do follow along in the chat. So do feel free. Notice the things you say will show up on the big screen. We might change that depending on how that goes. But anyway, welcome.
Hey. Good morning.
So, now that everybody's partially awake.
Partially.
Did you get to read up on that at all yesterday? The PewDiePie situation? Well, not the PewDiePie situation. Let's just say, first of all, we understand that this is not about PewDiePie
He was drug into that.
in totality. That massacre was disgusting. It was a reprehensible act, and we don't condone that at all. And, as sad as it sounds to parrot things, I say prayers for the victims, and I hope that they find healing as fast as can be. And but that's not the side of the coin we're discussing today. That's a bit heavier than I want to get into. I more want to talk about the social media implications when somebody who is disturbed in such a manner decides to call somebody else into it outside their own volition, and does the person, regardless of their stature, hold any blame for those behaviors? So, what do you guys think on that? First, I guess I'll throw that to you.
No, I don't think he should be held responsible for it. He's not told anybody to do anything like that before, so I mean, it's like somebody else on an article if somebody had gone around and shot, did something like that and said, vote for somebody.
I think this is suffering from the catcher in the rye syndrome.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. What is that?
Yeah, I have to get this right. I think it was one specific person who read that book and felt compelled to shoot one of the Beatles, I think it was, because the book told him to, but he was reading into it. Like there was nothing in the book.
Pause that 1 second. Our video feed's gone blam.
Okay. Oh yeah, there is no video.
We may have to do a re-upload on that. That's great.
Oh, okay.
Tell me, did you guys get to hear any of that? We had to relive again because our frames dropped so much that Twitch sought to stop the feed.
I see something. I see us.
I know. Hello. Yeah, now.
But the audio was up the entire time?
I'm not entirely sure. Can somebody in the chat let us know if the audio was up?
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so it was down. That actually sucks.
Okay.
It's delayed, so we don't know that yet.
I didn't have any audio.
Yeah, so
okay, all right.
Yeah. So we're opening up with this whole PewDiePie incident, and I'm just going to quickly rehash what I said because we were running behind. First of all, we're not talking about the shooting. That's a reprehensible act, something disgusting that we would never condone. And as I parrot everyone else, I do pray for these families that they find healing and solace as soon as they are able. I more want to address the social media aspect of this. Because somebody decides to drag another figure into this, does it make them culpable? Are they responsible for any of that behavior? And maybe how we should look at things. And then we're gonna move on from that fairly quickly, and we're gonna talk about brain fart here.
being yourself. On
Being
stream.
yourself in a stream, because I always wonder if I let the live factor influence who I am. Now, difference between changing my thoughts and cleaning up my thoughts for more appropriate ways to say things. And then we're going to talk about mobile games. Are they crap, or compared to traditional handheld games if we've known them from Nintendo, Sony, and the like? So if that's something you're into, please stick around. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe we won't get another frame dropout. That would be nice. But yeah. So again, I had handed it off to you guys that I didn't necessarily agree that anybody should hold him responsible. And then Bud was, well, I'll let you tell it.
Okay. Well, it's kind of like the Catcher in the Rye thing, where a certain person read the book and he thought it was telling him to, I think he shot one of the Beatles, if I'm not mistaken. But in that aspect, I don't think the author was to blame, because he shouldn't have been, because the book wasn't about that, wasn't about shooting anybody. The person read into it. It's the same thing happening now. It's a cycle, you know.
Telling the guy that shot John Lennon?
Maybe that's probably it then.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, South Park did a parody episode on this too.
I'm just not familiar with the book at all.
I've never read it.
So you just know of...
I think there for a while it was required reading for high schoolers, but I think after that they took it out. That's yeah.
That'd have been nice, but
the thing is, it's the same thing. You just because someone puts a name or says a name or anything like that doesn't mean that they're responsible, especially when they aren't actively telling people to do something. And now it's just like clickbait.
So where do we fall in the realm of implication, do you think?
What do you mean?
Well, I read a few articles yesterday implying that that there was responsibility in your behaviors. An article, or no, a tweet. I don't know the person's name. They had some crap ass Twitter handle saying that Pewdiepie was responsible because he espouses similar ideas. And then someone went on to say, no, just because you have an overlapping interest does not dictate the way somebody behaves, especially when not ordered, asked, or even hinted at. And then he goes, well, when you bring somebody like Shapiro on, who is anti-Muslim, and I don't agree with that statement. I think he has views that others would disagree with, but we're not going to be discussing. But but that guilt by implication is what bothered me.
Yeah, well, he was on his channel for a completely different reason. It was all for a joke, for a meme. It wasn't about spreading a message.
Yeah,
and so people are implying, people are reading into it.
Too much.
Just because you read into something doesn't make it true.
Of course, yeah, and I would agree.
So that's, hey, I don't like the phrase, but it's fake news. I mean for real,
that phrase
that
phrase carries baggage. That was an interesting conversation I read too.
Yeah, well, think about it.
It's he could have said anything like that. It's just to stir the media pot. It really is. At this point, that's like half the.
He should be held accountable because he is in a position to spread information, and he's spreading misinformation just so that he can keep his job and to, for monetary reasons, I should say.
I'm not sure how big this person was. All I know is he's got his blue check mark, and he had a fair amount of
maybe not
followers.
him specifically, but the news.
Any corporations that would report it that way.
Exactly. It's like, why aren't they being held responsible?
Missing a light.
For spreading.
Oh, did it go out?
Which is that's across the board.
And it's like
any corporation that is spreading anything that's not fact checked or is true is, because they could lead to stuff like this, but would they be held accountable for it?
I got you.
Like mass hysteria is what I'm getting
I got you.
Yeah.
I thought that short of you actively inciting violence on somebody, and PewDiePie says some stupid things sometimes. There's nobody's denying this, as do many other people, but
they know what
to take somebody's
to
take things like that out of such a context that's where it is. I mean, it's it's disoriented. I think is it concentric circles? No, I think a Venn diagrams is a good example of what somebody was trying to say.
Okay.
He's talking about the audience that they reach. And somebody even an article I was reading yesterday was even suggesting that because PewDiePie espoused some right-leaning views, conservative views, that means that because it has some overlap with the alt-right, that they were saying that he was influencing them knowingly. You know, that he by sharing some views, he was encouraging them. And I'm like, well,
they don't know that.
Life is like that.
Life
Everybody, I have views that overline with people sometimes in the far left that does not bother me because I'm like, that's a common ground. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I try to stay as neutral as possible, but my Venn diagram reaches into both sides, and for me to say that could easily be stretched to anybody saying that, hey, you're responsible for what these extreme people did because you agree with some of the things that they do. Wait, what? There is a line in the sand here that I don't cross, and yet you are putting me on the other side of that line because I may have overlapping interests. But but that interest may be minuscule, which means that I would not support that person as a general rule,
Yeah.
And it seems like that's the kind of thing that's being done here. Not in totality. You see a lot of not headlines, but you see the way the articles are being written shifting this time. And I like that he immediately jumped out to say, this is sickening. I am abhorred, I'm paraphrasing, but, I don't know. Yeah. That's just my thoughts on that. I just wanted to say that, I don't know that it's necessarily fair to blame people for things like that. That's my opinion. Yeah. I think that's inappropriate and
well here's the thing.
It fits.
The truth will always come out
in the square.
And it's like the first 48 hours maybe, or maybe just 24, shit hits the fan. So you just kind of have to let things settle because the truth will come out soon after. So it's like people are just trying to, get what they can
get their clicks.
Get their clicks. And then after that, it will die down. And then, the truth will come out. Because, obviously, he didn't incite this.
Silly enough, it may even look like that in our title. That's why I tried to reframe the title to what we think.
That's why I think it's best for when things like this happen, be aware that things are happening. But give it a day. And then do your research to see what happened. Because then
at least don't go reading, art, actual art. Go read, the news.
Don't read articles, but read the news.
I meant like
I know, I'm just
you know what I
meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I want you to clarify. I was actually
blog
confused.
Articles, people just
don't go to blogs.
Yeah, don't go to blogs. Don't go to Twitter.
Okay,
just get straight hard facts, what happened, when it happened, all that stuff. That's fine, but don't read into other people's opinions.
Turn your brain on just a little.
Huh? I'm tired.
No, I'm saying I'm paraphrasing what you're saying.
Well,
see the facts and then turn your brain on and use it.
That's another thing because people have these news article apps, where it has the headlines. So
it's so easy to misread.
Yes, and if you're going by,
most people just read the headline.
They do. They really do. That's one thing
I've even been guilty
I really
of it,
hated,
and I hate myself when I do it.
Because on the news, I've read clickbaity titles, it feels like YouTube almost, or Twitter. So it's they have these clickbaity headlines, and you actually read the article, and nothing that the headline said actually. It's what? What was the point of this headline?
Guys, I blew a horse's head off with a shotgun. What they don't tell you is
it was a stuffed animal or something.
Yeah.
It was like a BB gun. It's okay, well, this is not what I was expecting. But yeah, a lot of people will just read the headlines and they'll read the first line or two.
Maybe we should engage in clickbaiting titles.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Except we should do blowing stuffed animals' heads off. He was diseased and he kept poisoning the pack.
Yeah.
They were coming to life at night, and I didn't like what he was doing. They might put you in a box.
But
yeah, I don't know. I don't have much more to say on that. That I disagree with the act of tying somebody to something merely because somebody what it seems to be meant to sow dissension.
It is. It's nothing but a
He could
media
have said
ploy.
he could have said anyone's name.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
could have said a senator's name. He could have said some other
It just so
artist.
happens that PewDiePie and this gag war
Yes.
on T-Series has blown up,
Huge, humongous.
especially on the internet
It's
community.
in the
Yes.
internet community. It is honestly
And-
other people.
And that was just like a great point of division because there are a ton of people who have no idea who PewDiePie is. I mean, most of the people I'm around in the day don't know who he is. And
Or they
so
have
when they see his name tied to that, they don't understand.
they have a rough idea. Some people have
Yeah.
a rough idea.
Oh,
of
I
who he
mean, like,
is.
but he's not near as big as like television anchors, cartoons, shows like that. So I think it would be, I mean, it was right at a point where it can create a great amount of dissension for people who are unwilling to educate themselves on the people involved.
Well, that's why patience is a virtue, and whenever anyone brings anything like that up, you calmly tell them what really happened, and
Yeah,
that's the main thing. Is just don't
keep
get
a level head.
Yeah. It can be hard sometimes. You're like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Start flipping tables. You're wrong.
So pressing forward so that we're
Okay.
not dragging this topic on.
Being yourself.
Yeah, being yourself on stream. So I'm watching a streamer. I'm gonna name drop him. You guys mind if I?
That's fine.
I enjoy him. 48 Productions or Death_Unites_us on Twitch. He's streaming Chrono Trigger as a new playthrough right now,
Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And,
we were watching that.
and he's a blind playthrough, so he's never played it, and he's got 2 rules in his thing: no spoilers, no hints. Now he does this thinking out loud thing, and he says, and he even puts in his description, if I want to know where we're going, I will ask. But he was addressing an issue because I'm only up to like episode 8, but I joined the live stream, which is going to be like episode 16, so I'm 8 behind. But apparently there was an issue in the last one where he had gotten heated and angry and upset. I'm not sure if it was that intense. I'm just going by what it seemed to be when I caught into the stream, and he was apologizing, but he was apologizing for the way he handled the situation. But he's like, I'm not sorry I got angry, and I'm not sorry that I rant. He goes, I'm not going to be sorry for being me. I will be sorry when I step over the line, like onto your toes, but I'm not going to be sorry for being it. And I thought that was an interesting thought because, when you're live with people, that's got to be, as I've learned to feel, it's something that sits on your mind,
Yeah.
Am I representing myself appropriately? Am I going over the line here? And it was interesting to see him take that stand. It made me think about myself, that I shouldn't hide what I think or who I am, but I can be nice about the way that I do it.
Yeah.
Is what I don't know. It's just an interesting thought
well, that's
because
just
you
like
don't see many people say it or even address it.
Well, that's just like people. That's just like you working in like the public anyway, or dealing with people. It's just you still be yourself. Just
See, I'm very bad at it because I don't like stepping on toes.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, then you would be being yourself. Then you're trying to be polite, and that would be your nature.
That'd be
That
part
would-
of who you are.
Yeah, my nature is to actually respond in different ways.
Oh.
I
Wow.
I don't respond because of things that have happened in the past.
Well, then that's what you're learning.
I don't know that it's learning. As I look and reflect on those things, I'm not going to go into that deep detail. Just as I look and reflect on those things, the responses to me to certain behaviors of mine were inappropriate. And it has thus since programmed into me a certain response to those kind of situations.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a response of, I do want to be polite, but there comes a point when somebody's not being polite to me that I will sit there and take it because a fear of what would happen should I say something to them, even what I have to say is innocuous.
A lot of it's reading into a situation too. There's some things where it's
Picking
just,
your battles.
It's just not worth it.
And I
mean,
understand that, but when you're like a good example would be like people that work with somebody that absolutely pisses them off. If you intend to be at that job for a while, that's a battle you should choose to face in some fashion
at some
because
you have to deal with it for
you're going to be there for a long time.
Miserable.
And it's not fair that one person should have reign over your things. Now, I'm not saying people should go crying to HR either. I wish it would be like, as I'm told it was at some point in time, you could go up to somebody and say, hey, I don't like what you're doing. Can we come to a middle ground kind of thing? I mean, I'm obviously making the most plain statement there. Most people aren't going to say it like that, but they find a way to settle things and come to an understanding. And then you escalate it. But I just feel like, a lot of things get brought up above you too quickly. Instead of addressing it with you directly, they address it with people around you, or they address it to your superior.
Yeah.
Instead of coming to you with the problem, it's like your neighbor throws trash in your yard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like instead of going to your neighbor and be like, hey, I want you to stop that, you start doing either passive aggressive things or you try to get authorities involved. I don't know. I see things escalate just weirdly around me sometimes. Maybe my worldview is skewed, and that's kind of what I want to talk about in this conversation.
That's kind of people picking the battles too, though. Like, yeah. I don't know. Some people handle things differently, though. You have to consider that.
I always go for passive aggressive. Always makes me feel better.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That people would be held in a higher standard since they are in a spotlight. I guess the real question to that becomes, should they necessarily be? I'm not sure I have it decided. I have a firm decision on where their responsibility lay.
I think there is quite a bit of responsibility there because they are, to an extent, they are choosing to be in the spotlight. They're choosing to be celebrity. To an extent, regardless of how they got into that position, they're there.
Yeah.
And they influence people.
Mm-hmm. So
they should be conscious, at least to some degree, on what their actions could bring upon their audience. So they should be.
So that would harken almost back to our last discussion. So where would that line end for Pewdiepie? Because he makes off-color jokes, and where does that line end for comedians? That their whole set piece is about inappropriate
jokes. With Pewdiepie, maybe it's not very clear to an outside audience.
Yeah.
But if you follow him for a while, you can very clearly see when he's joking because it'll go black and white, or he'll correct it and be like, "Hey, that was a joke."
So he's using editing.
Yeah, but from an outside
to frame jokes.
Yeah, from an outside source.
Know that he was good at it in the beginning, but
well,
nobody is.
Well, the editing is getting better to where you can clearly see it now. But with anybody else, you would have to make sure you have to be aware of that. Like, do I need to make this clear that I'm joking? Especially if you're playing a character, because people play character.
Oh yeah.
On their streams or with this and that. And that's another thing.
Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm bringing up. So if they're playing a character, which would clearly be a joke or this and that, would the creator of the character be responsible?
I don't know,
because it's a joke. It's clearly I'm playing a character. So what I said was a joke, but you're taking it out of context.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't know. It runs into a really muddy situation because at the same time, at the end of the day, it's even the viewers' own responsibility to have their own moral compass and
handle their own
actions. So, if you let people influence you that much, then I mean,
I think it's kind of like the jackass phenomenon.
Anybody could have influenced them to do anything.
I think
CKY.
It could be considered there's a sort of cultural standard that you behave above and beyond your fellow man in general because you were in that position. It's not something that is necessarily expected so much as more it's something you rise to, you aspire to. But as social media grows, I see that kind of behavior just falling. The floor is broken. We're going down a few levels. All this don't want to use that word, crap slinging that I see through social media. It's like, why? I was watching a YouTuber video commenting on this kind of behavior, and he said, why would you say something like that? If that person was sitting across from the table from you, you wouldn't say. Why would you do that? I don't know. Unless that's how they really act, then it harkens back to the original discussion.
Because you're anonymous, and what you say won't come back at you for the most part. So people just act on that.
Yeah. Maybe I just watch too much of this reactionary crap. It's just clouding my vision.
Well, yeah, all that reactionary, like it's all shit. People reacting to that shit. Like, why?
I hate it that stuff comes through my feed.
They're just creating content to get more views.
Yeah.
There's no worth in it. This is what I saw. This is my reaction to it. It's like I don't need your reaction to how something makes me feel.
Yeah,
because that's personal to you.
I don't know. I like reaction videos like where the person's wholly animated and they're just goofy to watch. Because I'm watching for that person.
Okay, all right. I guess I can understand that. But if you're doing it just to see what their reaction is, this is how I felt during the Oscars and shit like that. It's like, fuck you.
Well, not really. That's opinionated news.
I know. Well,
so
maybe
I don't know. Maybe we stand on a different side of the aisle. I know. I respect your opinion. I just don't know that we align.
I think it's a waste. It's a waste of my time to watch reactionary videos.
Oh, that's fair. I can respect that.
Yeah.
I think that I waste my time watching reactionary videos.
Okay, so you watch it for that reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I necessarily think it's a good thing? No.
Okay, that's fine.
Is it entertaining sometimes? Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's there. It's there to be
Oh,
entertaining.
the stream stopped for a minute.
Oh. Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah.
If you're letting celebrities influence your decisions in life, then you've got
Yeah.
problems.
But
That's, I don't know. I hate when people are like, oh, well, this celebrity thinks this way, so I agree with them now. I'm just like, because they're celebrities?
And we lost the topic again because of me.
Yeah, we did. Anyway.
But I mean, the idea is that's why I want to talk about it after, because they seem to fit in a similar vein. Being yourself, and then where being yourself is altered by a limelight, and not in such a way that, in a way that you aren't still truly you. You can be you and clean up your act. You can be quote unquote
like,
more presentable to the public.
Yeah,
professional.
censor yourself.
I forget a proper term for it.
Censorship.
No. You're not censoring yourself.
Being more professional about it.
Yeah, we'll go with professional. More professional.
It's just like going to like a job interview. They still say be yourself. Because, I mean, if you're not, and then you start the job, and I mean, unless you're gonna keep up that facade for years to come, they're gonna find out eventually.
I don't know. Dark humor is kind of hard to fit into a job interview.
That's a bold move.
Yeah,
because like,
if you have a funny,
humor,
you gotta read into your.
Yeah, exactly. You have to read into it. Like,
I had one of my bosses. Like, I ended up joking with him during my interview because his phone went off, and he had
sure love working in IT because there's plenty of cords I hang myself on.
he had a SpongeBob ringtone, and so I was like, okay, like this guy.
Yeah, but you never know. The interviewer might love that type of humor. So.
Yeah,
strike gold.
That's a shot in the dark for sure.
Yeah. I'm not good at interviews. That's not apparent. I'm horrible at interviews.
But we're gonna have to.
Okay, so you missed like where we were talking about distinction between celebrity and character.
There wasn't a whole much that we really talked about.
Didn't.
It was more rambling than anything.
And a note for anybody that does watch, if you do enjoy, I'll do the follow thing. We have Twitter and YouTube links. I am going to be starting today uploading our videos. So last week's videos, and actually probably all the way back to January, will be going up onto YouTube at some time over the next week. And then with these live streamed videos, they will go up 24 hours after, just in the hopes that if we get affiliated, we have a habit of doing it that way because they've got that 24-hour exclusivity clause.
Yeah.
So last topic.
Okay.
Because what I say, we're running short on time.
Okay.
I think we may switch over. I don't know. I may switch over to streaming.
Oh yeah, you can keep going. That's just I'll have to leave. But yeah, is mobile gaming, like phone gaming, as good as?
I think
or
it's
comparable
fun.
to handheld games.
I think it's fun. I think the motive. I think some of them are fun. Some of them are fun in the way that Tetris is fun.
Well, yeah, but a lot of it feels gimmicky.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. The motive behind mobile gaming is no longer gaming. It's money.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, let's be fair. profit drives all business enterprise, right?
Mhm.
So then if that is the case, these people are taking it to an extreme.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
not about the game. It is about getting you to continue playing the game over and over and then paying money in over and over. And I don't like those kind of qualities. And as you see them move into the console arena, I'm even more offended. I expect it on mobile.
I hate it whenever
but-
they're bringing like either the pay to wins or like all the microtransactions in games, because it makes it feel like mobile gaming. Like, I adore Kingdom Hearts Unchained. I do, but like
Yeah.
to get anything good, like without tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of work, like you have to pay into it.
Oh yeah. That was your topic. So what are your thoughts before I jump in?
Before
on
we
that?
demolish it.
You already did. Ooh. No. No. You guys bring up a good point with the because I like when I play a game, I like to have the entire game. I don't want to have to pay like DLC excluded. Like I'll pay for DLC, for costumes.
Yes.
costumes.
Depending.
Well, yeah, independent. But like, that's perfectly fine for me.
Yes.
But I want the entire game. I want to be able to play the entire game without having to play shuckles out of the pockets. Just
Schmeckles. Yeah.
Schmeckles.
But another thing is, with mobile gaming, like puzzle games and all that, those are generally they're good, because it's touchscreen. You put the piece where you want it, so those are generally good.
Mhm.
But it's like the strategy based or RPG type games,
Yeah.
where it kind of gets muddled because it's how you control it. Because I don't want to have to buy.
I gotcha.
I don't want to have to buy another controller because it's not
to play your
mobile. Because then I
game.
have to make sure I have my controller with me to play this game on the bus, but then I have to keep it on my lap. And
I'm talking about the controller god over here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not as bad as some people, but
Yeah.
in our circle of friends
He's got
are
a
pretty
lot of
bad.
So- So when you design a game specifically for mobile, it's all about how you control the characters and this and that. Like with Another Eden, the way they do it, you keep your thumbs on the sides, and it's generally just like on axes. So you go side to side and up and down. So
Is that a shooter or?
It's an RPG.
Okay.
But your hands aren't getting in the way.
Yeah.
But like with PUBG, it's not as bad, but your hands can get in the way.
That's
I don't want my hands to be in the way of
the screen.
of the screen.
It's really annoying. That's one of
Yeah,
those
but
I
these
don't,
new
that's-
super wide displays are fixing it.
Still, I don't like playing. That's one of the reasons I don't like playing Minecraft on my phone.
Yeah,
is
see?
because like it takes up part of my screen.
You have like a friggin' super wide screen now.
Before I did. Before
You
I
both
had the-
have like
I had the-
super wide screens,
Well,
and I'm over
okay.
here with an iPhone 7. Like, hey,
well,
look at those look
Look
at those
at-
beautiful borders.
Look at those borders.
Look at those beautiful borders. Roll that
You
beautiful border footage.
caveman.
I think that I have a different view on it though.
Okay, all right.
Because I started the RPGs on iPhone 4S
Mhm.
with Chrono Trigger. I was playing Tony Hawk 2 on iPhone 4.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Okay.
And it was great, but it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's why I have the old phone upstairs with all the old software on it, so I can play it if I ever
Oh.
want to. Will I? Likely no, but it is preserved.
That's the other thing I actually don't like. That was what I was gonna say I didn't like about mobile games is that a lot of them have like time constraints. When I want to sit down
Oh.
and play a game, I want to sit down and play that game.
Hey, there's a roundabout. If you can,
Reset the clocks.
yeah, you got it. Yeah.
A lot of games, I don't know if
I don't know what
they
you
have. A
mean.
lot of them have their own
If you're not-
internal clock.
If you're not connected to the internet or data or anything, there are certain games where
They're starting, but a lot of the games require you to be connected to. The
I have no
internet.
idea what you're talking about.
He's saying to reset
I
the
know.
clock on your phone to reset the time to change
Ah.
to
Before
fool
we
it.
move further into that, let me finish my thought there. I'm not so opposed to the thumb on the screen and the way thing because I've gotten used to it. Was where I was going with
okay,
that.
yeah.
Because I've gotten used to it. And kids growing up will be the same way
Yeah.
because they've always done it. But I see the value in a controller because I went out and bought one. But when I have all the Final Fantasies on my phone, the screens are getting wide enough now that it doesn't bother me so much because there's enough gray area that my thumbs are they're in the peripheral anyway. We're all right, but I mean, I can see where it would be annoying. Like if you needed them, like Chrono Trigger is an absolute pain in the ass to play with the touch controls. I wouldn't recommend it. The way that they did Final Fantasy VI, not much better. I mean, for God's sakes, the ATB system is part of the menu system. your menu and ability to attack will rise up out of the bottom of the screen, and then ding, now you can press attack. It's really weird.
That's strange.
I turn it off, but it doesn't make it better. So yeah, I
Not
see
even
what
a
you
little
mean.
bit?
There are some games that it
just doesn't fit well with.
yeah.
It just doesn't work.
And then you were talking about
Those time
time.
limits.
I don't know about this. I've not experienced
Whenever
it.
you play like Kingdom Hearts Unchained.
Oh,
once
timed
you run,
events.
Yeah, no. Like when you run out of AP, you can't play
Oh,
anymore.
that kind of. Okay, that's a common thing for free to play, so they can generate revenue.
I understand that. I'd rather just pay them like $5 for the game and just play as much as I want.
Which was my point. Give me the entire thing.
Yeah, I don't.
That's where modern gaming, I think,
But
meets economics in a
the-
hard way.
Here's the thing, though, is I'm less likely to play a game that I have to wait to play over and over again than a game that I can just pick up whenever I want and just play for
Yet
as long
here
as
you
I
are
want.
2 years later playing it.
No, I did stop. That's the only one I keep playing because I've
Well,
got.
that's my point. Is
Well, they give the thing is, you'll let me explain why is because right now, well, I've got so much AP to let me do those. I don't really have that problem anymore. But they also, especially recently, they've made it to where a lot of the events don't take up AP. They'll give like free, like a lot of them are just it's unlimited AP because people were having that issue where they were just getting annoyed.
Yeah.
So they do free weeks very often.
Yeah, I mean, but still, it keeps you in. I mean, they've succeeded in their goal.
I've given up on like the Tsum Tsum game because I got sick of only being able to play 4 times before having to stop. That's what I mean. Like some of them don't give you ample amount of time to actually enjoy what you're doing, and I don't want to come pick it up an hour later.
That harkens back to what I was saying. It's all about profit. That is an intentional design.
That makes me stop playing.
You, but not their target demographic. You were apparently not it.
They're stupid.
But back to what I was trying to say is that is where money meets the game hard. To keep these games in development and to keep adding content requires they have some kind of paywall, be it restricting your ability to play it all the time. Yeah. So you'll be around for those events when it comes around. And the same thing is happening with other developers, and they're trying to figure it out because developing a game is so expensive, and people expect updates these days. They don't just want updates now; they expect them.
Yeah.
When you got a Nintendo game, most of the time that game was done when you were younger. Or say for PlayStation, for instance, you might get a version .01 disc or 101 disc, 1.02 kind of thing as it moved on little, but you didn't get updates delivered to your current software.
Well, yeah, because they didn't have. I mean,
well, the game was complete.
Those games didn't hook up to internet. There was no way they could ship those out.
Yeah, actually, there were a few games you could mail in to be updated.
That's silly.
But that's kind of the point I'm making is that as people expect updates, well, to get these updates, you got to pay people, and these salaries are generally around $50,000 a year. Last I checked, long ago, when that was an interest of mine. And when you have a bunch of people being paid $50,000 a year, you got to find a way to pay them.
There was a question like, do you feel like the games are evolving based on media consumption trends these days?
Oh, absolutely.
You should sit down for 5 or 10 minutes and then play for 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, absolutely, they are.
I hate it.
It
makes.
I hate the word, but it's almost predatory on a child's inability to concentrate. Now, I can't say that that's the instance. Like, for instance, Nintendo, I admire what I've heard that they've done recently, and I'll have to verify this later, so I'll probably follow up with it. But they actually cut back because one of the games, that Dragalia game that they have, Nintendo told the developer to stop pushing for people to spend money in it and to expand time limits, if I remember what I read correctly.
For which game?
Dragalia. It's their first exclusively mobile game. And it's actually pretty neat looking. It does have a time limit, but Nintendo is like, you told the company that developed it, stop pushing for money.
See, I think that's one reason why
they took a stance that said, we want money, but that's not about how we're doing it. Everyone looks at Nintendo as if Nintendo just wants money all the time. No, they want to make a profit. There's a difference between wanting a fair value for what you built and between demanding an outrageous amount of money.
I think that's one reason why I still do play Kingdom Hearts Unchained, because like I said, the time limit they give you is at least like I can get quite a bit of playtime out of it. It's not just like 5 or 10 minutes. That's where those games annoy me. It's like, all right, you played for 5 minutes. You got to come back in an hour to play. I was I don't want to now. Like, I don't want to pull the game back up in an hour.
Let me at least
to play for another 5 or 10 minutes.
You know, maybe a compromise in that case would be like to allow you to buy a wallet for AP. Like, you spend $5, you get a massive wallet, and you can accumulate a ton of AP, so that when you want to sit down for that longer gaming session, you can do that.
Like a one-time pay thing.
Yeah, one-time pay. It increases your wallet for the AP you can hold.
I'd be okay.
Meet you in the middle.
I'd be more okay with that than paying so much every time just to like refill it. It's just, I don't know. So what? Oh,
Can you hand me that?
what, this?
Yeah. It looks like we're running out of time for Rory today.
I am. Like, I have to go to work.
If she needs to get running, we can continue if you'd like, or we can wind up.
Oh, you guys can keep going. It's fine.
Well, then we're going to take a quick bathroom break then.
Well, I'm parked behind you.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick bathroom break. We'll be back to discuss where we're going to move forward. But, yes, mobile games can be crap, but they can be good. I think it's all about an adjustment phase, and we got to figure it out. But I want to come back because I want to hear more about your opinions. So give us a few moments. Farmington, Ohio. It's not Farmington. Not Farmington. What the hell am I thinking?
Cleveland?
No.
Well,
I know of Cleveland, and I'm not going to Cleveland. Camera's coming back.
Somewhere outside of Cleveland?
I can't remember now. Somebody said there was somewhere I should go. I have to ask my coworker. She was talking about it.
Yeah.
She's originally from Ohio, so she's like, "You got to go to this place." And then you dinged a memory, and now my memory's like, "Nope, I fail you." So thanks for that.
Every state has its spots.
Now I want to go to Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Even Utah. Oh, Arkansas.
Well, Hot Springs is a beautiful village. Actually, really is. It's up. I don't know if you would consider it a mountain village.
Is it in a mountain?
I don't know. I have memories from when I was a kid, so I don't have like a terrible amount of experience with it. But it's absolutely, and they have old. God, it sounds so bad. Turkish bathhouses, Turkish style bathhouses. I don't know if they had the prostitution or not. That's up in the air. I'll have to do investigation.
If it doesn't have that, then it's not Turkish.
Ah, crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. But yeah, I just wanted to catch a more complete idea on your take, because we kind of stormed over that. But you were talking about controls in games.
Yeah. If a developer is going to make a game specifically for mobile, which I think for the most part is for phones, not tablets.
Yeah.
Because the way a tablet, get tiring. So it's for phone. It'd be best if they were to consider the controls and all of that, because you're playing on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to keep your thumbs like minimal on the screen, or unless it's like a strategy base where you have to tap. The tapping is cool. I that's cool.
Yeah.
But like if your thumbs are like a traditional controller,
Yes.
Keep them out of the way as much as possible.
Yeah, and I think they learned that. Like I said, it was just very hard with earlier screens, is my guess. So
yeah, well, I know they're getting better, but that's kind of what keeps me away from it. Also, because it eats your battery and your phone, and I'd rather have it separate.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, it's worth it when I just want to sit there and do monotonous things in Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
It's nice having Chrono Trigger on the go. Like, I like my Nintendo Switch, but sometimes it's nice to not have a full bag when I leave the house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like if you're at work or anywhere like that, you'll probably have a outlet nearby to where you always have your phone charged.
Yeah.
But if you're like on a car trip, going from across state, it would be best if you had a handheld, because then you're not killing your phone battery, and then you still have your gaming. I mean, that's just my opinion, because I'd rather have my phone in case I need GPS, I need to contact somebody. I don't want my phone to die on me because I play a game for hours on end in the car.
I got you.
But that's, everyone has their preference on that.
Yeah. I got too many splitters for those DC outlets.
Yeah, you're always prepared for that, aren't you?
I try to be. I don't want to go back.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't want to have to carry an external battery with me because then I'm holding a battery and a phone at the same time because I killed my phone. That's not comfortable.
Turn your brightness down. That helps a lot.
No, I want to see the colors.
Yeah, like my brightness is like probably 20%
Right now?
times, yeah.
Let me get into mine and I'll tell you what mine is at current.
Need to get some new headphones. It's on ear grab.
71.
Yeah, I don't ever run my.
But I do have the battery saver on.
I don't use battery saver.
You don't?
Hell no.
I guess you don't need to.
It kills everything. Like functionally wise.
I never thought about it like that. Like how so?
Well, it depends on the way your phone does it, but like it'll shut off like push messages, so I won't get emails without actively checking. Certain other GPS features will go away. Like you can use them on demand, I think, but I'm not exactly sure anymore. All I remember is that I had a reason for turning it off, and I never looked back.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, because you would. Oh.
I should probably refresh, get a refresher on what it does, and then decide if I should keep it that way anymore. But
I have an inkling. Recently, I've had to use my GPS when I was traveling, and I had my battery saver on my older phone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Probably because the battery saver was on.
I don't know about that. Was your phone silent?
No, like everything was up. Everything was pushed up. I made sure, and it wasn't going turn left, turn right, or anything like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've not ever had that.
So it could be the battery saver, maybe, on my phone, because I have a different system and everything.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what would cause that. So when you upgraded your phone, real quick, did they make you surrender your phone, or did you wait till the next day to surrender it?
No, I had my phone until so when this phone I have now.
Yeah, it had to be shipped in.
Yeah, it was part of a promotion.
Okay.
Where I had to they bought my phone
from you, yeah.
From me, and then I got this one, but I had my old one the entire time until this one was in store for me to pick up. If that is your question.
Okay, so they credited you before they took the phone from you.
No. Like they moved. The only thing they really did was move me onto my own plan.
Yes.
And then that was it.
No, I mean, but that's the way those deals generally work, is like a credit. Like when you buy the phone, it credits towards the cost of the new phone.
Yeah, but they didn't mess with any of that until the day of.
Oh, until they got the phone in. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was asking. It's like so they went and credited you and then sent you home with something they paid you for you to pick up the next phone tomorrow.
No,
in the hopes you bring it back. No. I mean, obviously you're not going to screw them because they'll just mess with your bill, but
yeah. No, they didn't do anything with that until they had this one.
Until everything was ready to go. They just had the plan in place to go.
Yeah. Which even that was screwy because the way that there was a glitch in the system that they haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Where so they pulled me off my family's family plan to where I'm now my own unlimited.
Yeah.
So there was that part.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole promotion thing.
Yeah.
It made it to where on my account, it showed that I owed negative $400 on my account. And they're like, this is not right. I'm like, well.
Was it? Oh, probably a deposit.
Or something like that. But it wouldn't allow me to get this phone because of that.
The negative balance, yeah.
And they couldn't get around it. I was like, well, just give me the money. Give me my $400. And then and then I'll give you.
So but it showed your account in the red at 400.
Well, no, it showed that they owed me.
Oh, surplus. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Negative.
Surplus in your favor.
Yeah, negative. Yeah. So that whole, but they've never seen that before. The funny thing is,
okay, so that's like a reverse deposit.
Yeah. So
we'll pay you to be on our plans.
Yeah. So I asked them, it's like, so do you get paid for finding glitches in your guys' system? You know, because some companies will do that. You know,
glitch hunters. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Bug hunters. Yeah.
They won't do that.
Yeah, of course not.
Well, it's like
they're already on company dime.
Yeah, but
I'm sure there might be a system where if they reported it,
Yeah.
it climbed up high enough, they may receive a compensation down through the company.
Yeah.
But it would never ever be disclosed.
Yeah, because who knows, finding that glitch could save them a bunch of money down the road. Because
maybe time. I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was surprised that they wouldn't get compensated for finding it on accident. Anyway, you know.
I find glitches all the time in things, but they don't care when I tell them. I even explain the steps to recreate it. It's out of our hands, is what I'm told. Such a great attitude. Love it.
It's like just dropped it on the ground. Well.
It's like booty. It's like, that's booty. We don't care.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, that about covers everything we got for today. You have any closing words or thoughts before we're back on Monday?
LG phones aren't as bad as people might say they are. Because I'm on my third one, and I'm happy with it.
I've never heard anyone say they were bad.
Well, it's not the top grossing phone company.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
That's because LG's kind of gone downhill.
Hey, but I've had good quality from the products that I've had.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's just a coincidence that I'm getting a good phone or if it's all around good quality.
Gotcha.
So I don't like if you're looking for a new phone,
we're not promoted.
No.
We are not paid at all.
I'm just saying
or affiliated.
If you're needing a new phone on a budget, I would consider LG.
Yeah. Just so we're clear on that, so we don't get in any kind of funk.
Yeah, so we're gonna separate ourselves so that way if they want to give us any revenue, we don't get it because we're not affiliated.
Oh no, I'd be happy to be affiliated. I'd switch to an LG phone if they wanted to sponsor. That'd be fun. I mean,
that'd be interesting.
Could use a little extra backbone after getting set up for our coming project. So that is something. So our big project, and I'll have more to say probably Monday, is probably due to start on the 25th this month. And that'll be at 8:30 p.m. that Monday, Central Time. If you like what you see here, follow us. We got Twitter and YouTube down below. Again, I'm going to start uploading our past videos onto YouTube. I'm going to get our info section updated. This site is new. It's been a busy week, so I need to get that updated. So you'll have our times that we stream Saturdays. Try to be on at 8:30 to 9:30 for just a quick news talk, and then Mondays 8:30 on. Generally about hour, 2 hours. We'd like to do a bit more streaming. We're working on that. We each work jobs at different shifts, so we got to make that happen. We have to really coordinate, so be patient with us there. But if you do enjoy us, join us for what little time we do have. We love to have you around. We love to have people talk and interact with us. Get in here, ask us questions. You can ask us awkward questions. Just be careful with them. We may have to say the nay, no, my dammy on one or two of them, but it's fun to interact with people. So do join us. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope you have a good one.
Yep. See you.
Over.